Hello boys, welcome back to another session of video tutorials, and this session is meant for class 11th biology students, and we are dealing with the chapter structural organization in animals, chapter number 7, and we have been discussing and reflecting upon animal tissues. In that we are talking about second type of animal tissue, that is connective tissue. As we discussed in our previous session, connective tissues are the most abundant and widely distributed tissues in the body of complex animals. They are named connective tissue because of their special function of linking and supporting other tissues or organs of the body. They range from soft connective tissues to specialized types, which include cartilage, bone, and adipose and blood. So we are basically discussing the specialized connective tissue today. So cartilage, it is a soft skeletal tissue. The cells of this tissue, basically it is made up of chondrocytes. As you are seeing here, chondrocytes. These are enclosed in small cavities within the matrix secreted by them. The intercellular material is solid and pliable and restricts compression. Most of the cartilage in vertebrate embryos are replaced by bones in adults. So basically in cartilage you see two types of parts, or one is collagen fibers will be there, and in between the collagen fibers chondrocytes will be there, or the chondrocytes are also called in normal language cartilage cells. So hyaline cartilage is the most prevalent cartilage. It forms articular surfaces at the joints of long bones, rings of trachea and bronchi, sternal parts of ribs, hyoid apparatus, nasal septum, and also part of larynx. That's how it's very important. Cartilage is very important. White fibrous cartilage, strongest cartilage. White fibrous cartilage is the strongest cartilage. Occurs in the intervertebral discs and in the pubic symphysis. Yellow elastic fibrocartilage is found in the pinna and external auditory canal of the ear, eustachian tubes, epiglottis, and the tip of the nose. So since cartilage is present in all these areas, you know how much it is important. On the other hand, bone, we are bony people. So bone cells, technically we call these bone cells as osteocytes. These are present in the spaces called lacunae. Bones have a hard and non-pliable ground substance rich in calcium salts. This is very rich in calcium salts and collagen fibers, which give the bone its strength. So the strength of the bone depends on two things: calcium salt and collagen fibers. How much is the percentage present there? Bone is the main tissue that provides a structural framework to the body. Bones support and protect softer tissues and organs. Limb bones serve as weight-bearing functions. They interact with the skeletal muscles and bring about movements. Red bone marrow is the site of production of blood cells. So bone marrow is the production center for RBC. Havrasian canal with its surrounding lamellae and osteocytes constitute a cylindrical unit of bone called Haversian system, or it is also called osteon. Haversian systems are absent in spongy bones of mammals. So this is about the all important bones. So we realize the importance of bone whenever we lose it or whenever we break it. Like whenever we have got fractures, we know how difficult it will be for our movements and how painful it is. And the shape of it. We lose the very shape of it. Hence, bones are very, very important. So what is the difference between this cartilage and bones which come under specialized connective tissue? Cartilage, they are soft skeletal tissue. Bones are hard skeletal tissue. And as I said, cartilaginous cells are called chondrocytes, are enclosed in small cavities with matrix. Bone osteocytes, they are rich in calcium salt and collagen fibers. Cartilage, these are present in tips of nose, outer ear, pinna, between vertebral bones. And bones they form the very framework of vertebrates. Example, limbs, legs, etc. In fact, entire body. So these are very, very important connective tissues that play a crucial role in all the vertebrates. And the third one, we come to the third specialized connective tissue, that's blood. And blood is the fluid that is present in our body, and it connects four things. One is the plasma, liquid part of it, red blood cells, erythrocytes, white blood cells, and of course platelets, thrombocytes. It helps in transportation of various substances between organs. So basically, blood is a fluid connective tissue. It consists of four parts: plasma, RBC, WBC, and platelets. It is the main circulating tissue that helps in transport of various substances like glucose, oxygen, and in throwing out all the waste materials, and of course minerals like sodium, potassium. These are all very, very important. Hence, we consider blood as a specialized connective tissue. Moving ahead, the next one, connective tissue, the next animal tissue is the muscle tissue. And muscle tissue or muscular tissue is made up of many long cylindrical fibers. Cells are in the form of contractile fibers arranged in parallel arrays, each containing fine fibrils called myofibrils. Myofibrils, these are very, very important. And these are present in the cytoplasm known as sarcoplasm. Muscle fibers contract and relax in a coordinated fashion to produce movement or maintain the position of various parts of the body. So, based on this structure, the muscular tissue is of three types. One is the skeletal muscle, second is the smooth muscle, and third one is the cardiac muscle. Now the skeletal muscle, you are seeing a lot of striations will be there. These are all also called rough muscles, and they are called rough muscles because of the presence of the cross walls called striations, and of course nucleus will be there, and all the muscle tissue will be in the form of bundles. And in smooth, second type, there will be smooth muscle fibers, myofibrils will be there, but then no cross walls. So since there are no cross walls, we call them as smooth or non-striated, unstriated. There are no striations. Hence, it's called unstriations or non-striated muscles. And the third one is a blend of both. It is mixture of striated muscles and non-striated muscles, and it's a special one because of its location. It's present in the heart. Hence, it is called cardiac muscular tissue. The skeletal muscle, they are known as striated and they are voluntary. Smooth muscles, they are known as unstriated and involuntary muscles. Cardiac, they are special. They are special because they are present inside the heart. and they are involuntary, as we all know. Skeletal muscle fibers are cylindrical and unbranched. They are also called striped or striated muscle fibers, as you are seeing here. The smooth muscles, on the other hand, are non-striated. You can see here, no striations. And then they are spindle shaped. Look at that shape, spindle shaped. And cardiac muscle, these muscle fibers are striped but have dark intercalated disc. These are called communication junctions. You can see here. And these communication junctions allow the cells to contract as a unit. And second point, multinucleated with light and dark bands. Many nuclei will be there. Whereas smooth one, these are uninucleate. Uni means only one nucleus and no striations, without bands. Uninucleate, this is cardiac muscles with faint light and dark bands. Now striated, these are attached with bones. Smooth ones, these are present in vessels and esophagus. These are present in the walls of the heart. That's why cardium in Latin is heart. These are fibrous and unbranched, cylindrical in shape, as you have seen. They are fibrous and unbranched, spindle shaped. These are fibrous and branched, cylindrical in shape. A lot of branching will be there. So basically, the striations will play a crucial role in this. The striated muscles are voluntary in nature. Their functioning can be controlled directly and they can soon be fatigued. They get quickly tired. And the smooth muscles, they do not get fatigued and are involuntary in nature. That is, their functioning cannot be directly controlled. Whereas the heart muscle, cardiac muscle, they never get fatigued and involuntary in nature. Why they never get fatigued? They distribute their function. And where are they present? The skeletal muscles are present in skeletal bones, for example, hands and legs, limbs. These muscles are found in body walls, tongue, and the beginning of the esophagus. And smooth muscles are found in the walls of internal organs such as blood vessels, stomach, and intestine. And cardiac, as the name suggests, they are present in the walls of the heart and in the walls of large veins like pulmonary veins, superior vena cava, where these veins enter the heart. This is the location. Hence, muscular tissue plays a very, very crucial role. And coming to the last one, neural tissue, as the name suggests, neurons, nervous tissue. Neural tissue exerts the greatest control over the body's responsiveness to changing conditions. Neurons are the main structural and functional units of neural system. Each neuron consists of the cell body called cyton. All of you know, you are studied in junior classes. The process of neurons are of two types, dendrites and axon. The axon ends in group of branches. They are called terminal ends. The axon or dendrite covered with a sheath is called nerve fiber. The neurological cells, which constitute more than 50% of the volume of neural tissue, protects and supports the neurons. On the basis of structure, nerve fibers are of two types, myelinated neurons, non-myelinated neurons. Medullated nerve fibers are covered with a sheath called myelin sheath. However, myelin sheath is absent in certain points called nodes of Ranvier. Non-medullated nerve fibers do not have myelin sheath and are found in autonomous nervous system, ANS. When a neuron is stimulated, an electrical disturbance is generated which quickly travels along its plasma membrane and reach the destined area. So basically, neural tissue is related to nervous system and a nerve cell is called neuron. So this neuron basically has got a head portion and a tail portion. Head portion is called a cyton and the tail portion is called axon. So there is a cyton and axon, and the main function is it generates electrical impulses. So because of this, sensations can be felt. So the tissues organize to form organs, which in turn associate to form organ systems. So in this chapter, for your batch, we are going to deal only with this animal tissues. So keep drawing diagrams, identify the parts and the significance of each part of it. I'll see you